You can be wildly successful and still feel unsettled. Lately, I've been thinking about a pattern I see often among high achieving professionals. Have you ever reached a big milestone personally or professionally, and instead of feeling excited or proud, you thought, why doesn't this feel the way I expected it to? What if success isn't the problem, but how we're pursuing it is? Today, we're talking about messy success and how to slow down, reclaim intention, and celebrate what you've already accomplished as you step into the new year. Hello, and welcome back to Promoted with Denise Harris. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you've joined us. And if you've been listening for a while, welcome back. This is our first episode of the new year, and I wanted to begin with a conversation that feels honest, grounding, and deeply relevant for high-achieving leaders, especially women who are used to settling goals, pushing forward, and making things happen. Today, I want to talk about something I call messy success. Have you ever reached a milestone? Maybe it's a promotion, a new role, maybe it's a financial goal or a big life moment, and then found yourself thinking, I should feel more excited about this. Why am I already tired? This isn't what I thought it would feel like. If that resonates, you're not alone. And more importantly, know that nothing is wrong. You may simply be experiencing messy success. Messy success is what happens when achievement outpaces intention. It's when things are going really well on the outside. You're advancing, you're visible, you're delivering the results, you're checking all the boxes. But internally, there's a disconnect. Instead of feeling grounded or fulfilled, you might feel burned out, overwhelmed, emotionally flat, or quietly unsettled. Messy success isn't failure, and it's not underperformance. In fact, messy success often shows up because you are capable, driven, and trusted. High achievers are often rewarded for speed. Move fast, say yes, figure it out, and handle more. But over time, speed becomes a proxy for progress. But speed leaves very little room for reflection, choice, integration, recovery. And when we're constantly racing toward the next milestone, we rarely pause long enough to ask ourselves, why this goal now? Or what do I want this success to feel like, not just look like? Or what am I optimizing for in this season of my life or career? Or you might ask, what am I missing? Instead, we keep our eyes locked on the finish line. And this shows up in life as much as it does in careers. You might think about a young couple who, in the span of 18 months, buys a home, advances their careers, plans a large, expensive wedding, buys a new car. On paper, that's success. But the real question isn't, are they successful? The real question is, at what cost, and was it intentional? Messy success happens when big milestones stack up without space to breathe, reflect, or integrate what's actually happening. And in careers, messy success often sounds like, I worked so hard to get here, why am I already exhausted? Everyone thinks this is a win, but I feel disconnected. Or you might be thinking, I don't know when I stopped choosing and started reacting. It shows up when promotions come faster than clarity. Responsibility grows faster than confidence. Visibility increases, but joy declines. Success creates pressure instead of freedom. And many people feel guilty even naming this Because from the outside, everything looks great. The cost of messy success isn't always obvious at first, but it adds up. And over time, it can lead to chronic fatigue, loss of joy, strained relationships, a sense of living on autopilot, or a quiet grief for paths not explored. Many people don't recognize messy success until burnout forces a pause. But here's what I want to emphasize. We don't have to wait for burnout to slow us down. One of the most powerful ways to tame messy success is surprisingly simple and incredibly difficult for high achievers. Slow down long enough to acknowledge what you've already accomplished. Not to minimize it, not to rush past it, but to actually recognize it. Celebration doesn't have to be grand or performative. In fact, it might look like taking a day off without filling it with productivity. Going out to dinner to mark a promotion without talking about what's next. Writing down your wins from the past year and just sitting with them. Saying, I did this and it mattered before moving on. Celebration is not indulgence, it's integration. And without integration, success stays messy. Messy success doesn't require smaller goals. It requires more intentional ones. And so here are a few reflections that I want you to carry into this year. Reclaim intention as a leadership skill. Shift from what's next to why this now. Redefine progress for yourself. Progress isn't just speed or output, it's sustainability, clarity, and energy. Build pause points into your journey. Pauses aren't delays, they're decision points. Separate identity from output. Who you are is not the same as what you produce. So let me say that one more time. Who you are is not the same as what you produce. And finally, name the trade-offs consciously. Every form of success has a cost. Messy success happens when those costs are discovered later instead of chosen up front. And here's the reframe that I want to leave you with. Clean success isn't perfect. It's just intentional. It integrates ambition and well-being, momentum and meaning, achievement and alignment. So if you are successful and still feeling unsettled, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It may simply mean your success needs more intention, not more speed. And that awareness, that's often the beginning of a much more sustainable next chapter. So as you move into this year, I'll leave you with one question that I want you to ponder over. What would it look like to slow down just enough to honor what you've already built before deciding what comes next? Thank you for listening to Promoted with Denise Harris. And if this episode resonated, and I certainly hope it did, share it with someone who might need it. And take a moment this week to celebrate yourself in a way that actually feels meaningful to you. Until next time, lead with intention. Talk soon.